Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play and initial impressions review, although you might also consider this a full live review for Squadron VR, a game that was released in early access on the Steam store back on December 13th, 2022. It supports OpenXR. It normally retails for $10, and I received a free Steam key through the Steam Curator Connect program to review this game. Now, these are the settings. The only settings I messed with is I lowered the music, and I turned grip mode to toggle. Sky Squadron is a on-rails wave shooter, and you're on like this little ship. And the way that you aim is you hold on to the controls and you move your motion controllers up and you aim down. You move your motion controllers down, you aim up, move them right, aim left, move them left, you aim right. So hopefully you understand these controls. You can also take your motion controllers off, and sometimes there'll be a fire and you have to put out the fire. Now, I've already technically beaten the game. It took me about 40 minutes to beat the game. There's only 3 levels, and if you're good, you can probably beat it like in 25 minutes maybe. 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, somewhere in that ballpark. But there's 2 levels that I haven't done, so I'm not calling it a full review for that reason. Because you have to choose a different pass to get there. So I'm not exactly sure how... But I think here you have to choose a different path than what I chose. So somehow I ended up in Take Out the Train. So we're gonna go to Scout the Base. We're gonna play this on normal difficulty. And let's see what happens. Let's see how we choose a different path, because I wanna...
Wattle to keep, you should be arriving now. Some concerned locals have reported some missing trees. Do us a favor and check it out, would you?
No problems, Waddle. I'll let you know what I find. I'm seeing a lot of scrap just lying around.
Sounds like a proper opportunity for a weapons check. I'm sure no one will mind if you clear it out.
Like I said, it's basically a wave shooter. On rails wave shooter.
Let me take care of that one for you, Keithy. Cheers, Cobber. You're a legend. Strength, I just saw one of their dodgy drones.
Follow it, and don't let it get away, Keith. What? Oh,
and you can see there's like little red dots, which is where you're aiming.
Can't let them wreck any more of it.
What are those guards doing here? Full speed ahead.
Now you can't just pull the trigger all the way out. Because, ooh. Now you can't just put your trigger finger pressed down the whole game, because you do run out of bullets and you have to wait before they recharge or reload. So you do have to like pause in between so you don't overheat. And like I said, sometimes you have to take out fires if you take fire damage, but that's really the whole game. It doesn't change. There's no upgrades. There's no skill tree. There is some different enemy types and different dangers, but the gameplay really doesn't change. You're always aiming for little red dots, and it's just a matter of target priority. What do you think is important to take down? Because you're not going to be able. You're not going to be able to take everything down. So there's some fire damage here that we're going to take.
Pat the flames to put him out, Keithy.
So there, you just pat like this. There we go. And that's really all there is to it. I don't know how we choose a different path.
Train again.
It shows the different paths, but I'm just not sure if they're available.
Focus on the missiles.
And you see you have to take down projectiles sometimes. There's nothing you can do to get past the shield. You know, there is no alternate fire.
Oi, Waddle, I found that bloomin' train.
Then be a good chap and take it out.
This game has a lot of positive reviews, but I'll be honest, I really don't understand why. It's not what I would consider a good game. It's not a bad game, but I wouldn't consider this a good shooter or even a good wave shooter. There's much better wave shooters out there. I would say this is just completely mediocre, if I'm being honest. It's just very mediocre, very average in every single way. About the only positive I can think of is just the cute art style and the cute little animals, and there's some narrative voices. That's something that's a little different for VR. We usually don't have those things in a shooter, but I don't think that's enough to change it from anything other than a neutral recommendation, because it's just not very good.
Should we chase down that train?
We can deal with the train later.
Those pipes look like they lead out of here.
And just the shooting mechanic, like I said, of having to move your hands up and down and side, I just don't find it to be the most fun way of having a shooter. It does make aiming a little tricky, but you do get used to it. But it's just not very immersive, you know. It makes aiming just a little odd, but it doesn't really make the game better. So yeah, as you can see, the gameplay is pretty bland. I mean, the levels look nice, but I just think this gameplay needs more depth. Without the depth, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, I can't shoot right now because there's a cooldown because I overheated. So again, you do need target priority.
You. Thanks, Keithy.
Blimey, they have a functional forward
And
base.
obviously, like I said, the little animals are cute, but I don't know that's enough to make this a positive
Agreed. That
recommendation.
ventilation system looks like the way out.
To me, this is just very average. So if I have to rate it as is, I would give this, again, this is an early access, but if I have to rate it as is in its current state, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Just a neutral recommendation. Obviously, Steam doesn't let you do a sideways recommendation. So I'm going to give it a positive recommendation, but it's not really a positive. It's more of a neutral, a 5 out of 10, which means it's just completely average. Unfortunately, the average wave shooter on Steam is not very good, and I think this is pretty average. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. A neutral recommendation. I think there might be some that might enjoy this more than I did. I think, kids might enjoy this more than I did. If you're just looking for a mindless shooter, a casual, relaxing shooter with a cute art style, you might enjoy this game more than I did, but just the lack of depth for me just makes me not have
watch out,
fun.
Keithy.
So this is a boss fight. I think I'll end my video after this boss fight.
You'll need to take down that battle.
I might lose on purpose. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to try to win, but if I win, I win. But I'm not going to try to win, because I don't want to spoil the whole game for you guys. There is more to, like I said, there is more to the content. I'm not to the end of the game, but the game does end just suddenly. It just kind of says, thank you for playing this game in early access, is basically what it says. There's nothing for me to shoot. Like I said, you need those little red dots. That's when you know you have a target. Now there's nothing for me to shoot at the moment. Like I said, it can be a little tricky to get the aim sometimes, just because sometimes it feels like it doesn't go far enough for you to get a proper aim, but Okay, I wasn't really trying to beat the boss, but it was just
Let's
too
figure
easy.
out how to save this forest.
Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been Sky Squadron VR. It's only $10, but I just don't think there's enough content. Like I said, I kind of beat the game in about 40 minutes. So I would estimate and if you're really good, I would estimate there's 30 minutes of content. Like I said, those are the 3 levels here. The rest is under construction. And I don't know how you get to these. I'm a little confused. Maybe there's a way to take another... I don't get how you get to those 2 levels. I assume that they're there and not under construction, but I might be wrong. There might only be 3 levels, but there's possibly 5 levels. But I know that would be it. The rest are under construction. So there's not a lot of content for the $10, so I'm only giving this a 5 out of 10. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. Hope you enjoyed my Let's Play, initial impressions, or full live review, however you want to look at it, for Sky Squadron VR. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.